Now back with our guests, Damon Vickers and Brian Doherty. I want to go to sovereignty, because this is what's playing out now in Europe. And the reason why we're talking about Europe is because we've got to learn from the lessons. That thing is a powder keg and about to melt down. Greece is collapsing, and the EU announced, I think it was this week or last week, that there is no such thing as state sovereignty. There's no pulling out. This is it. You're in the EU, period. You do what we say. That's not going to sit well with a lot of people over in Europe that didn't really want to get into the EU in the first place, and now they can't find themselves getting out. When you have a big government, we were talking about it in the break, coming down with a fist, do you see a possibility of, as in Greece, nationalist socialist movement, which was originally in Germany, the National Socialist was the Nazi Party. Do you see that extreme nationalism kicking in?
Do I see?
Not here, yeah. But yeah.
I hope not, but historically we've seen that that is something that arises from a government that tries to do too much, which is why I really try to stress it's a very dangerous game that any government plays when it messes with its currency, when it messes with its debt load to the degree that things get that bad. They are flirting with the possibility of some really ugly stuff, and I don't want to discount its possibility, but I hope not. Let's say that.
So how do we avoid that? Here, how do we avoid, what can we do today besides just cleaning out our own life? What should we be doing today?
We should not be assuming or taking on any more debt. You've got to
What about the stimulus packages and all this? They'll say if you stop spending this money, well then the whole economy stops. I think that's good to reboot the system.
I would vote. I would pull the lever that says reboot.
You would? You would too?
Yeah, because as I was saying earlier, because I think that in the end, and maybe a long end, it will end up being okay. We still have the resources, abilities, skills, will, freedom, right. Exactly.
You know what I feel like? I feel like we're on the Titanic and it's the White Star Line, and everybody's worried about saving the damn boat. It's the people. We can build another boat. Get the people in life rafts, roll up that Constitution, put it in your pocket, and get into a life raft. It's going to be awful. We're going to be cold. Some of us will, die, but it's not the boat. It's not the White Star Line.
It's mostly, Damien might disagree, but what we're mostly facing is a crisis of finance, a crisis of debt, a crisis of currency. Those things are tools.
Trust.
Are tools for the orderly transfer of the real wealth of the world. They're not the real wealth of the world. And, Germany lived through, hyperinflations are horrible. I'm taking a real long-term view here because I get a little distressed when people think that we're facing the end of civilized life entirely. You can even live through a horrible hyperinflation. It's going to be horribly unpleasant. Lots of people lose a lot. Human life and human civilization will go on, but it's really dangerous, and that fascism thing you mentioned is the thing we have to keep our eye on the most, that the solutions people look for are not a strong man who will control more. Strong men controlling more is what got us here.
Okay, hold on. I've got to take a break.
We're going to
hold that thought. Back in a second.